How much you bench?
Don't know.
Why not?
Because it's stupid.
Thank you for taking the time. Welcome to the Reacher family. It's so crazy to hear your real voice because you nail a Boston accent in Reacher season.
Oh my God. Thank you.
And as a native Bostonian too, I was shocked to hear that you were from overseas. So I have to ask.
God, really?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Thank
What
you.
is the
That means
secret?
the world.
What is the secret to nailing a Boston accent?
I just listened to as much Boston as I could, various films. I found some great things online, like old 80s interviews with like Boston longshoremen being interviewed, like working at the docks. And there's some great like Boston Globe clips when Whitey Bulger was caught and all this stuff. So that's pretty heightened Boston and of a particular period, but I took it to the extreme in order to kind of bring it down with a dialect coach and make it as smooth and believable as possible. So thank you. That means the world. I've done my job. If you're shocked right now, so that's good.
Yeah, I feel like if you just look at a map of Massachusetts and just try naming like Gloucester, Worcester, Marblehead, like eventually you'll just nail it. So yeah, so many different random towns, so many great Boston movies over the years. Really cool that Reacher gets to explore the Northeast corner. Your character of Susan here is leading a kind of a team of sorts. And it's an interesting dynamic because Reacher is so known to be a lone wolf. So from that perspective, what makes Susan believe that she can truly trust Jack Reacher?
I think initially she doesn't know whether she can fully trust him, but she trusts her gut, and her gut is telling her this is a guy that I believe in this moment when he tells me what he is telling me. And this is a guy that's also willing to go undercover. So I think he's a good egg. So I'm going to see where this goes. I think she's generally a pretty good judge of character. And of course, we know that she is right to trust Reacher. And thank God he comes into her life, because this is a situation that has gone from bad to worse. And in all her years of being in the DEA, she's never had to deal with this. The stakes are so high for her. Like in terms of her team, like Villy is such a beloved mentor. He's about to retire. He's so close to like hanging up his hat and living the rest of his days peacefully. And she has a young rookie who she's responsible for, and also this poor undercover informant who, Susan never imagined that the situation would turn out as it has. And Reacher comes in and it gets even more complicated and even more dangerous and even more entertaining for us to watch. But I think it's lovely to see them work as a team. I think it's a testament to Duffy that Reacher goes undercover with her and with the DEA to help her, because he doesn't need to. He could just crack on and find Quinn. And would be fine doing it himself. But what I like is that initially off the bat, with kind of very little fanfare, they just crack on with the job together. They work well together. But at the same time, there is that Reacher quality of like, who the hell is this guy? Can I trust him? What's his story? Like, what's he doing just roaming around finding bad guys? So it's kind of delightful to see her see the real Reacher over time and see that relationship evolve as well. Which was really fun to play and is always, I think, entertaining to watch.
Very much so. And I'm glad you brought up the rest of the team, because Reacher is someone who I feel like, he's going to march the beat of his own drum, and you just have to trust that his vision will align with the greater team's mission. That being said, the other people you're in charge of, Steven specifically, there's a moment, I won't give the full context, but in episode 1, he wants to play a certain role in a mission that they're carrying out. And Susan has hesitancy at first, but she lets him go forth with what he wants to do. How does Susan approach kind of leading her team, and specifically in the case of designating tasks? When is she going to put her foot down and overstep? When is she going to let her team kind of do what they feel is best for themselves?
I think in this instance, they're in new territory as a team because she's running this case off the books now. So if she weren't, I think there would be more leeway and more dialogue of like, hey, let's see where you're at, little rookie. Like, what do you fancy doing? Are you ready for this? Let's test you out on that. We're not in that. We're hitting the ground running. It's moving at 80 miles an hour and people could die and the clock is ticking. And so she is very much leading the charge. And I think when Reacher comes into it, what I like is that as much as he brings so much that is immensely helpful, I like the fact that they are a team. They're both kind of side by side and going, okay, well, let's do this. It's terrifying. There's a lot of unknowns, but you've got my back and I've got yours. And I think that's something that Duffy has. I hope that comes across, and I would hope her team feel that she will always have their back. She will take responsibility. She will lose everything over this if it means making it right. And I think it's a testament to her that someone like Reacher decides to stick around and help her out, that the guy that's about to retire stays by her side, and the young rookie who could and probably should just get out while he can looks up to her and wants to stay. But she's definitely more of the kind of fucking tough love, because she has to be as well. We're not playing in this show. So yeah, she's particularly tough on Stephen because I think she feels she has to be, because this is hard work and it's dangerous work. But also she's at a particular point in her career. She's not ready to retire yet. And this is new and unknown for her, and it's scary and it's anger inducing, but she's driven by the need to make things right. And she will, whatever it takes. She's not a bull in a china shop. That's what I like. Her team are not collateral. She's very aware of at all times trying to protect them. Which is hopefully entertaining to watch.
Yeah, the best part about Reacher is that, there's great action, there's great fight sequences in all the seasons so far, but there's also great moments of dialogue. Jack Reacher has a quote in an earlier season where he says, "No point in having a weapon unless it's ready for instant use." I'll wrap with this question to turn that to you as an actor. What do you feel like is a quality you bring to your performances that is your weapon, is something you can just go to instantaneously and will just heighten whatever performance you're delivering at that moment?
I think I listen well. I really just try and be in it and respond to what the other actor's giving me. So to just be present and be prepared to react, basically. I'm always prepared. I've learnt my lines. I'm on time. I'm ready to work. I love my job. But very simply, I think your ability to be in the moment, locked in, and respond, like that's the juice. That's what the camera's getting. And then you're not in your head about it. I think you can see if an actor's in their head and they're thinking about it too much. I try and just work off my gut and off instinct and just respond. And if you've done your prep well enough, you know the character well enough, they're in there. So that response is what they would do. I guess your emotions and your intuition are your weapons.
Yeah, I think that's a very wonderful answer. Sonya, thank you again for the time. You're a wonderful addition to the Reacher family. I am excited to see the rest of the season, and thank you again. Congrats.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Reacher and I fought.